You are Locked On Dodgers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
That was terrible. On a stick. I am Pete Fox. I am about to lose it. Not just because the Dodgers are playing like crap again, or they played like crap tonight, for a variety of other reasons. You'll notice I'm not wearing a hat, and that is part of the reason that I'm about to lose it. But let's get to the business at hand first. Welcome to the Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. Place to hang out when every game is done. I contemplated coming on today at about the fourth inning, but my colleagues were like, yeah, no, that's not a good idea. Don't do that. It's like, yeah, I know, but it could have been done. You can also listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Tonight's episode of the Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more as the playoffs wind down. Sports stop sporting like we want them to this time of year, except for baseball and the dog days. FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com. Now, to my story. Why this game kind of irks me more than other Dodger blowouts is something going on in my life. And this is why sports is so important to us as fans, I think. I could have used a 10-1 Dodger win so badly. I needed that win in my life where everything I've touched in the last 5 days, everything in my hemisphere has turned into an enormous pile of duty. Like unfathomably large. Like if that pile of duty fell on me while I was standing up, I would be covered above my head. And I was like, yesterday was like kind of the capper of that day. And I thought I was coming out of it feeling better about all the problems I'm dealing with. I think I solved one of those problems today. So that was like one fewer problem on my list. And then this happens 9-0 by the fourth inning. I was just like, are you kidding me right now with this? The Dodgers look like a minor league squad. I mean, Bobby Miller is a real liability to this team. I'm just kind of like, we don't need that guy. Like, where, like, does he have to pitch every 5 days? Because I sure hope not. And Zach Wheeler, who's a veteran, good pitcher, was like Cy Young caliber today. So if the Dodgers would have won, I probably wouldn't have lost my S before coming on the show here like I did. And I'll tell you that story if you don't mind, because it's kind of funny now that I think about it. Our air conditioner, I'm in Southern California. It's 100 plus today. This is why I don't have my hat on, because it's hot where I am right at this very moment in time. My air conditioner in my house took a dump today. It's a brand new air conditioner. The whole unit in the entire house is like a year old. Stopped working. Of course, right? 100 degrees outside. Who needs air? Who needs AC? So when we're not those people that run it at like 70. We have it like 79, 80, comfortable. You know, my wife and I fight over that 1 degree. 80s where I like it. She likes 79 or 78. We're just constantly back and forth. So to the best of my knowledge, the AC unit should handle that. Maybe that's why it took a dump today. I don't know. It was running all day comfortably at 79. And then I was like, it's getting kind of warm in here. And I went over and checked AC. It showed that it was 83 in the house. Then it was up to 84, 85. And I'm like, what's going on? And then I look on the thermostat and it shows a red warning label. Warning. I'm like, great. So fortunately, out here where I do the show, it's a little shed in the back of our yard. Used to be my wife's office, so we call it the she shed. But I've commandeered it for the postcast. Still the she shed, though. We had a window AC, standard issue window AC. I'm like, I'm going to go turn that on. So when I get in there, I'm nice and cool because it's getting warm here in the house. I turn it on. It runs for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then it starts going. I'm like, are you really? So I take it out of the window. I go outside and I try to fix it because I'm, a wannabe handyman. In doing that, I made it worse. So then I lost my S again. I grabbed a hammer, which I have right behind me here to hang up all this stuff you see behind me. And I did that thing you've probably seen on YouTube before. Most people do it with a sledgehammer. I didn't have one, so I used a hammer. And I obliterated that air conditioner into as many humanly pieces as I could. I just went berserk. My wife's like, hey, calm down. You are going to have a heart attack. And I was like, I know. That might be for the best. Because it was just like this avalanche of S that was falling on my head, kind of precipitated by, today anyway, the Dodgers getting their ass handed to them. I was just like, really? The other thing that happened, which I won't get into because it's a really long story, but I have an RV that I rent out occasionally to people it's a website that's like Airbnb for RVs. Had a flat tire on Sunday when the guy was driving home. They couldn't fix the flat tire, so they left it on the side of the road. Someone was going to come and fix it the next morning. They go to get it, and it's gone. It's gone. And my RV at this point in time is just MIA. They're considering it stolen. I'm like, what? Really? This cannot be happening. I'm like, what else can go wrong? It's just unbelievable. I honestly, I feel like that I don't think there literally is anything else that can go wrong. I mean, I'm kind of I don't even want to put it into the universe, but it's just, there's nothing else that can fall apart. Oh, I mean, my cars are relatively new, so that's good. I just look at this Dodger team right now and I'm like, what else can go wrong with you guys? The fact that their starting pitching is in such a bad space right now, it's really discouraging. I mean, it really is. I've defended the pitching, but that's more about the bullpen. And the more we pile on bad starts on top of bad starts. Where's that number? 30. This was, I don't know, 6th or 7th inning. I don't think they gave up too much more after this stat. Maybe one more run. So 39, maybe 40 earned runs from the starters in 36 innings. That is atrocious for a team that considers themselves, and the odds makers consider to be, a World Series contender. And this series is supposed to be a measuring stick. I know it's July. I know people want to say that it doesn't really matter all that much. It's not about winning this game or the next game. It's about winning the World Series. Well, you can't do one without the other. You cannot continue to go out there and get beat up and look bad and foolish and not even compete and think you're a World Series team. I mean, if there was ever a turn the page game, this is it. Craig, please tell me you're joking with this stat right here. Or not stat, piece of information. Craig is saying that Glasnow is now hurt. I have not heard that. Oh. Oh my God. There's the answer to the question, Craig. Thanks so much for that. What else can go wrong? What else can go wrong? Anybody want to come do these for me for the next few days? Craig, where do you live? Come do these things. I'm done. I'm done with this. I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. I can't handle it. I can't handle this embarrassing performance night after night after night. Oh my God. Now Glasnow's hurt. They're going to be like the Giants, who are just running out bullpen guys night after night after night. Every game's a bullpen game. It's just ridiculous. Jeff, I wish I had your optimism. I mean, you can absolutely win the World Series after looking like crap in July. Some team does it pretty much every year. I know. I safe to say I'm a prisoner of the moment, for sure. For sure. And I don't expect them to win every game, Jeff. I just expect them to be competitive against other good teams. So it doesn't leave me with a lot of hope right at this point. And now if they come out and win tomorrow 10-1, yes, I'll feel a lot better and I'll be a prisoner of that moment. But my job here is to break down this game, not what does it all mean in the grand scheme of things. Roy says, Pete, this is the same as smoking your gas line. We know where the leaks are. What gas line are you talking about? The gas line on the air conditioner that I took the hammer to. Have you guys ever done that? It was actually kind of cool. I hit it right in the middle where the Freon is stored, and it's like, I was like, it's probably not good for the ozone. Oops, sorry. All right, first break. When we come back, talk a little bit more about Glasnow's performance. I'm sorry, Glasnow. I got Glasnow on the brain now because he's on the IL. I don't know if he's really injured. I think they're just trying to manage his innings because they're coming up on that number that he's never surpassed, but who knows? We'll talk about Bobby Miller's performance, Zach Wheeler, and we'll find the one bright spot in this game for the Dodgers. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers Postcast. Thank you for hanging out and commiserating over another embarrassing performance. 10-1 the final. We'll take our first break, come back into a very, very short Diamond Dogs list. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. I love sports most of the time. Today, my love is a little less enthusiastic. Generally, I never want them to stop. I kind of feel like I need a break right now, though. With the dog days of summer rolling along, we've got the Euro final coming up on Sunday. Spain is in, and they'll take on the winner of England and the Netherlands. And then they've got the Copa America final as well. So if that amount of sports is not sporting enough for you and it's not sportsing the way you like it to, check out FanDuel. Let them keep the sports rolling for you whenever you want it to. All you have to do is open the app, and dream up bets anytime you are in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking you up with boosts and bonus on a daily basis. That's right. Something for everyone every day, all summer long. All customers will get a boost or a bonus daily. So head over to FanDuel.com and start making the most of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Tax Network USA. Here at Locked On Dodgers Postcast, we pride ourselves on getting you the latest on your team. Right now, the latest is not very good, but hopefully it will get better. Whether it's the offseason, the draft, spring training, or the dog days of summer like it is right now, and the Dodgers are struggling for a variety of reasons, we are into it year-round. You know what else is year-round? Collection season. Just because tax season is over doesn't mean the IRS will stop coming after you for unfiled taxes. The IRS can garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, and even seize your property. Don't let the IRS target you. Let the licensed professionals and tax experts at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. They have 14 years of experience and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Tax Network USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you owe taxes, have complicated matters that require tax filing, or finally hit that parlay this season and need help correctly filing that extra money, call 1-800-549-1000, 1-800-549-1000, or visit tnusa.com/lockedon. And be sure to mention Locked On Dodgers Postcast at checkout, and you will receive a $250 discount on their services. Well, the Dodgers get shellacked today, 10-1. The start being the first inning wasn't bad. It was okay. Dodgers got some runners on in the top. Philly had some runners on in the bottom of the first, and the Dodgers got out of it, and it wasn't a problem. But then in the second, 2 outs for the Dodgers, and the Phils start hitting the ball. 3 for 5 at that point with runners in scoring position. The bottom of the lineup was like red hot early in the game. 2, 5, 7 hits for the bottom of the lineup. 3, 6, 9, 7 for 9 were the bottom 3 guys in the lineup for the Phillies. Good performance there. As for the Dodgers bottom of the lineup, 2 hits, including a home run. Cavan Biggio highlighting the Diamond Dogs list today. His first homer as a Dodger, 3rd overall, 390 feet. And right after that, I don't know if it rattled Wheeler because he had been really on. I mean, the bottom line was Wheeler was just better than Miller early in the game, right? After the first inning, Wheeler was just better. Through the 4th, Wheeler had the Dodgers baffled, throwing better, good pitches, especially with 2 strikes. It was almost a certainty early in this game when Dodgers were up to bat with 2 strikes that they were going to strike out because he had good strikeout pitches. So that was the reason they won this game. And Bobby Miller was just all over the place, struggling mightily after that first inning. Couldn't find the strike zone. Anything off speed was a disaster. So he had to rely on the fastball. And, they were feasting on it. They were just waiting. They were just sitting there teeing up fastballs that he was throwing right down Main Street. And then he seemed to be having issues with the humidity. 89 degrees there tonight in Philadelphia at Citizens Bank, 62% humidity. I can relate. I really can. But it looked just too easy for the Phils. Obviously, they're the best team in baseball, best team in the National League, 59-32 after this win. Dodgers 55-37. So they definitely, one of 2 things needs to happen in this series for me. Okay. You guys can look at it however you want. But one of 2 things needs to happen. They need to come out tomorrow with a different attitude, a different energy, and a different motivation and battle. Because I think this means something. Or you just phone it in. Get your ass kicked for the next 2 games. And then we can all chalk it up to, well, they didn't really seem to care. Or I'm sorry. I know Jeff's still listening. I know they care, Jeff. They didn't seem to want it. How about that? Oh, no, they probably want it too, right? Let me see. How do I describe this? They didn't seem to have the appropriate amount of intensity. Is that a good way of describing it? I think it is. I feel like they did not have the appropriate amount of intensity tonight. And if they don't come out with that tomorrow, then at some point, like when they start to get behind the 8 ball, they just need to roll over, right? Just go, fine, you win, and then lose this series ugly. Get your ass kicked 3 nights in a row and move on. Chalk it up to, well, it's July. You can come up with a million different excuses. Miller said he felt good, happy he did not give up 10 earned runs. Yes, indeed. Mr. Seabad, we all called the Miller train wreck early in the day. Yeah, I'm an optimist most of the time, but today I didn't think it was going to happen. I was not feeling good about this right after the first inning because I thought the first inning was okay. And as I've said, I feel like when you're playing good teams and the Dodgers don't come out with that intensity right away, it's hard to manufacture it, especially when you're in a big hole and the weather sucks and you're on the road against the best team in baseball, et cetera, et cetera. They just have a tough time manufacturing that energy. And oh, Jeff, don't try to say the wrong thing in different words. Just stop saying the wrong thing. The problem with the Phillies hit and pitch better. You're right. I said that, Jeff. But the Dodgers added on by having no intensity. The Phillies were better tonight. This was a tip the cap, turn the page game. The Phillies were better across the board. There's nothing to say that the Dodgers were ever in this game at all after the first inning. And you could even say they weren't even in it then because Bobby Miller is starting. But if they lose 2 heartbreakers, because this was not, it's going to be even worse. I feel like they either need to fight and win this series or just roll over and chalk it up to a turn the page series. Fine. We got our ass kicked. We'll see you in October. That kind of a thing, circle their name on the calendar, write it on the whiteboard, all that stuff. We're coming after you, Philly. And this is not the team or city that you want to lose 10-1 to, because you can bet your ass that there are dudes standing outside, probably women too, outside of the Dodger Hotel right now. Now, they're probably still in the clubhouse, but they're out there waiting outside of the hotel, getting ready to harass and mock the Dodgers when they get off the bus and go into the hotel. I can bet on it. Unfortunately, FanDuel doesn't have a bet for that. But if they did, I would wager on that because I would bet a large sum of money that there's a dozen or more people waiting for the Dodgers to come back to their hotel to scream obscenities at them after losing the 10-1. And hopefully they are. I really hope they are because it will potentially get some vim and vigor in the Dodgers, wake them up, piss them off, get them fired up and ready to go. Jeff, you and I can disagree on this till the cows come home. They did not have any of that tonight. Yes, they probably wanted to win, but they did not have any desire, energy, vim and vigor and piss and vinegar and all that stuff. Just didn't have it. It wasn't existing in their bloodstream today. And I get it. When you go down 9-0 by the fourth, yeah, you're done. Isn't there a forfeit rule? No, unfortunately, there's not. So I get it. It's hard to come back from that. So they're going to have to manufacture and manifest something for tomorrow to get back in this series, win tomorrow, and then have a rubber game that means something and battle and fight, or just roll over, throw infielders out on the mound, let anybody who wants to pitch go out there and throw epheses and call it a day, move on to the next series, which is Detroit. And they're not quite that good. Dodgers fall 10-1. The one came from a Cavan Biggio home run. Shohei Ohtani had a hit, and that was about it. No, actually, no. There was a couple 2-hit play. Will Smith and Austin Barnes had a pair of hits. How about that? Wow. Congratulations to them. Honorable mention on the Diamond Dogs list for Will Smith and Austin Barnes. 2 hits apiece. All right, final break. Then we'll come back and put a lid on this disaster. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done and we can commiserate. You can also listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast brought to you by PrizePicks, America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 3 million members. They are the easiest, the most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. You pick more, you pick less on 2 to 6 players and their stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. That's the only thing, honestly, I think that could have made this game worse is if I would have gone out with more confidence in Bobby Miller and thought he was going to strike out 6 and then he gives up 9 runs. By the way, a career high for him. He's a rookie or second-year guy, so he's not a tenured veteran or anything, but 9 runs on 10 hits. Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't put that up. Like, do you think Bobby Miller is going to get shellacked? Because if they have that, now that would have been a locked on selection. They also have the Demons and Goblins. They are the newest and most exciting way to play PrizePicks. Squares marked with red demons or red goblins, green goblins can get you different payouts. The red pays more. It's harder to hit. So if you pick 4 and you bet wisely, you can win 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. Promotions like lowering stat projections on Tuesday. Isn't that today? Yes, it is Tuesday. So there's still games that are available. You can get in on the action there. You can also get your entry fee back on Fridays if you lose. PrizePicks is now available in more than 30 states, including Georgia, California, and Texas. So go to PrizePicks.com/LockedOnMLB and get your first deposit match up to $100. I've said it over and over again. One of the things I love about PrizePicks, their quick deposits and easy withdrawals are painless, hassle-free. So check them out, PrizePicks.com, LockedOnMLB, and use that code, and you'll get a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. All right, Dodgers lose 10-1. As I said, Bobby Miller struggled mightily. I don't know if they run him back out there next time, but they probably have to if Tyler Glasnow is on the IL. That leaves Gavin Stone, right? And James Paxton. So they got those 2 guys. So that's good, I think. That's something. It's better than nothing. This is adversity that I think everyone expects to happen, but it's never fun. And it's, Not what you're hoping for, but I guess you got to deal with it, right? Got to find somebody to pitch. I don't know if they're going to do bullpen days. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Let's see if they got somebody scheduled for tomorrow yet. Tomorrow, another 3:40 Pacific starting time. Actually, no, 4 o'clock tomorrow. And Gavin Stone will start tomorrow versus Christopher Sanchez. I am both hoping and not hoping that we get to see this Ranger Suarez guy because he has been lights out lately. I just kind of want to see it in person, to be frank with you. But don't get me wrong, I don't feel like it would be a positive outcome for the Dodgers, and he will not start in this series. The finale on Thursday, it'll be Landon Knack versus Aaron Nola. So that's, I guess, good. I'll have to see Ranger Suarez another time, another place. But Bobby Miller today was not good in any way, shape, or form. The off speed was off, to say the least. And then he had to rely on the fastball because that was the only thing that was coming near the plate for him. It still had good velocity. I mean, it was high 90s, but it was, that's not hard for Major League Baseball players to hit, especially when you're throwing right down Main Street and they're waiting on it because they know that you can't throw an off-speed pitch right now. It's like in football when you're throwing the ball all the time and then you run play action and don't ever run the ball. They know you're not going to run the ball. So they're just crashing down on the receivers. It makes defense really easy. Same thing for hitters in baseball. If they know your off-speed stinks today and you're just leaning on the fastball, I don't care how good the fastball is, they're going to feast on it. And they did. I think he was having a little bit of problem with the humidity, couldn't find the right grip. Yes, excuses. I'm relying on them. Don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince. Jeff will have a completely different, way more positive view of this game than I'm having right at the moment. They'll be on Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel as soon as I am done here. So check them out if you are fed up with my negativity. James Outman will never come out of his slump because he needs to change his last name. Like the pitcher that pitched for the Seattle Mariners, Balfour or Balfour. Potentially, Jose, you could be right on that. I don't know. Yeah, James Outman's only a skosh better than he was before he was sent down to AAA for a month and a half. Hasn't looked great. Had an opportunity with the bases loaded today. Struck out swinging on a horrible pitch in the dirt. It was, just like, I mean, it felt inevitable. I hate to be that way, trying to be positive, but when you're down 9-1, 10-1, whatever it was at that point, struck out swinging, hit by the pitch. They did him a favor, struck out swinging, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. It's just, Do I honestly think this team can win a World Series this year? Yes, I do, because I agree with Jeff on that. There is a long way to go. There's a long way to go. Right? At this point in time last year, did anybody think the Arizona Diamondbacks would be even close to the World Series? No. I look, Dodgers have a ton of talent. They got a lot of offense. They got some good pitchers. Problem is, those guys are hurt right now, and that's an issue. So if those guys can get healthy, anything's possible. Yeah, absolutely. Baseball in the postseason is about one thing: getting hot. Right? Getting on a run. And you just got to get a little lucky. And I think that that's absolutely possible. So, right now, if this World Series started tomorrow, do I think the Dodgers would win against anybody? No, I don't. But fortunately, the World Series doesn't start tomorrow. It starts in October. So anything can happen. Look, Phillies could fall apart. They could suffer injuries too. Look what's happened to the Yankees. They've completely unraveled over the last 2 weeks. They're a dumpster fire right now. And they were the best team in baseball too to start the season for a while. They were red hot. So anything's possible. Anybody can get hot, without a doubt. Yes. So you answer your question right now, Los Dodgers World Series champs? Yes, I do. And clearly you do with the name of your handle there. All right. Should we get out of here? I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it is right now. Sidetrack me with, do I think the Dodgers can win the World Series? I do. But not today or tomorrow. Oh, I know what it was. Do I think, God damn, I lost it again. Frustrating. Senility. Frustration adds to senility. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the comments. We had a good back and forth tonight here. Hopefully you all feel a little bit better. I know I do. Thank you. And that's partially because of you guys and the show getting to just vent and destroying the air conditioner with a hammer. That felt even better. If you ever get the opportunity, I highly recommend it. Just get that frustration out of you. All right. We'll be back tomorrow after game 2 of this series against the Phillies. Gavin Stone gets the start. I like our chances. Don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince coming up here in just a few minutes on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. And again, I will be back tomorrow for Locked On Dodgers postcast immediately following the game on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. Have a good night. We'll talk tomorrow.